Whether you're old or new school, you'll agree that good music is good music, regardless of the era. And boy, the 70s definitely produced some exceptional tunes. That being said, these are 13 songs from the 70s you forgot were awesome. 13. Burning Love by Elvis Presley. Now, what would the 70s be without the soothing voice of Elvis Presley? Hey, he's the king of rock and roll. And believe me when I say he didn't earn that title by accident. One of the songs that cemented his place as one of the greatest of all time is none other than Burning Love.
You're gonna set me on fire.
My word, this tune is nothing short of a classic. And since you've not heard it in a long time, then I'm guessing you've forgotten all about it. It was released in 1973 as part of the album Fool, and it's loaded with all the elements of gospel and blues that shot Elvis to fame in the 50s and 60s. Burning Love saw the king shine in all his glory, and revisiting the song one more time certainly wouldn't be a bad idea. 12. Oh, Sweet Nothin' by the Velvet Underground. Next up is Oh, Sweet Nothin' by the Velvet Underground. This mind-blowing ballad will keep your head bopping and your feet tapping all the way. The song itself fits into the context of folks who ain't got nothing at all. I must say, the closing guitar solo perfectly echoes the line, Sweet Nothin', and the Velvet Underground uses the song to bring their 1970 album, Loaded, to a beautiful end. 11. Wuthering Heights by Kate Bush. Moving on, and we've got Kate Bush's awesome tune titled Wuthering Heights. Interestingly, it retells Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, but this time with a more playful vibe to it. Now, if you've never listened to this song, let me be the first to tell you that it'll get you off your feet. The smooth sound of the female falsetto, mixed with the soulful retelling of the original story, makes Wuthering Heights one of the best songs of its era. It's one of the standout tracks on the 1978 album Kick Inside, and it was so good that it went on to inspire several parodies. You should definitely check it out, but before you do, allow me to recommend some more awesome 70s tunes. 10. Pink Moon by Nick Drake. Now, how can we talk about awesome songs from the 70s without talking about Pink Moon by Nick Drake? That'll be a great injustice. For those who don't know, Pink Moon was the title track to Nick Drake's 1972 album, and this is a joint you should include in your old school weekend playlist. The funny thing is, Pink Moon didn't really take off until the late 70s, which came as a huge surprise considering how good the song is. Thankfully though, some good marketing and repackaging by Island Records allowed the song to reach the heights it deserved. The record company re-released the album as part of the Fruit Tree box set in 1979, after which Nick Drake's reclusive history became the driving force behind the singer's posthumous success on the charts. 9. I Feel the Earth Move by Carole King. Moving on, and we've got Carole King's I Feel the Earth Move.
Ooh, darling, when you're near me.
Now, King has too many hit songs, so there's a good chance you know at least one of them. But can you remember this particular tune? Let me give you a little reminder. This song is part of King's Tapestry album, released in 1971, and it has all the elements that make up a classic record. Everything from the piano to the harmonies were so awesome that listening to it again would mean a one-way ticket straight back to the 70s. I have to warn you though, you might just get caught in that era and never come back. 8. Crybaby by Janis Joplin. So, do you remember Crybaby by Janis Joplin? The year was 1971, and this was one of the standout songs to be released at the time.
But honey, enough the real thing, we're waiting for you at home.
This was Joplin at her very best, as her voice perfectly complements the beautiful riffs that guide the song all the way to the very end. Honestly, this song will make you think about every heartbreak you've ever had, and even the ones you didn't. Not too many artists can evoke such emotions the way Joplin does, and that's exactly what makes Crybaby such an awesome song. 7. Big Yellow Taxi by Joni Mitchell. Next up is Joni Mitchell's Big Yellow Taxi, which was released in 1970 as part of the album Ladies of the Canyon. This is one of the most upbeat songs in our video, so you might want to check it out if you're into the old school groove.
Farmer, farmer, put away the DDT now.
But getting the party started isn't all Big Yellow Taxi is about, as some of its lyrics also offer food for thought. A good example of this is the lyric, "You don't know what you've got till it's gone." This offers a humble perspective on life, which is relevant in the modern day, just as it was back then. 6. Live and Let Die by Wings. Still want more food for thought? Then you need to listen to Live and Let Die by Wings, which is one of the most popular Bond themes ever. Released in 1973, the single was massively successful and was one of Paul McCartney's greatest milestones since he left the Beatles. The song itself boasts of brilliant instrumentals and artistry and tempo, and it's unarguably one of Wings' very best works. 5. Piano Man by Billy Joel. Speaking of best works, Piano Man was one of the finest from Billy Joel. Released in 1973, this was the song that introduced Joel to the world. And what an introduction it was.
Son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really.
The song is smooth and witty all at the same time, and it paints a picture of the experience of feeling out of place. It's also laden with lyrics about hardships, which showed just how expertly Joel could understand the pain of the people and make music that can lift their spirits. 4. Up and Around the Bend by Creedence Clearwater Revival. For those who were fans, the breakup of the group Creedence Clearwater Revival must have been heartbreaking. The good news is they made some really great music while they were still together. Up and Around the Bend is a good example of their awesomeness, and this 1970 release will captivate you right from the word go.
Come away if you're going, leave the sinking ship.
It begins with what has now become an iconic guitar riff that boldly introduces John Fogerty into the song. Now, Fogerty, who just happened to be the group's lead singer, didn't disappoint as he got into the flow with his smooth but rugged voice. Up and Around the Bend has gone on to become a legendary song, so much that it has been used as a soundtrack to some of Hollywood's best movies. 3. Heart of Glass by Blondie. Now, the early 70s produced a lot of great music, but the tail end of the decade brought about even more awesome tunes. Heart of Glass by Blondie is one of them, and it was part of the 1978 album Parallel Lines. This song is significant for many reasons. Besides being one of the best songs in its era, it was also the song that ushered in the pop rock wave that would thrive for years to come. Heart of Glass has a great blend of disco, synthesized sounds, and Debbie Harry's voice that comes on and off as she shares her not-so-nice experience about being in love. This song was truly exploratory in all ramifications, as it delved into unexplored territory while maintaining the core elements of rock. 2. Ramblin' Man by the Allman Brothers Band. As for Rambling Man by the Allman Brothers Band, well, it's not the most popular song from the 70s, but it's one that's worth checking out. Why? Because it's totally awesome. The song is part of the 1973 album Brothers and Sisters, and it carries a nice blend of country music and rock, which became a regular sound combination as the 70s progressed. As you can imagine, the song has a strong Southern influence, thanks to its country elements, which is why it didn't fail to offer us some beautiful harmonies and iconic guitar solos that carried the song on its back. 1. Beast of Burden by the Rolling Stones. Now, whether you're a fan of rock or not, I'd be shocked if you don't know the song Beast of Burden by the Rolling Stones. It's the last song on the group's 1978 album, Some Girls, and it's as seductive as they come.
Be your beast of burden. My back is
Just as they always do, the Rolling Stones came correct on this track. Every instrument played was gracefully combined, and the vocal performances were top-notch. Fans of the genre would be thankful for such a musical gift, because what would the 70s be without the Rolling Stones and Beasts of Burden? Now that your memory has been refreshed, hit the comments below and tell us about the other awesome songs from the 70s that have started popping up in your head. Hit the like and subscribe button while you're at it, and I'll see you in the next video.